Developing right now, police are sharing very few details as multiple agencies are called to a home in Walworth County, part of a criminal investigation.
2 companies received federal safety violations following last summer's deadly explosion in Sun Prairie. You'll hear from the city's mayor tonight at 6.
This is News 3 at 6.
An investigation is underway in Walworth County. We know there is a large police presence at a home on County Road J in the town of East Troy. We're being told that things are very active right now, but the public is not in any danger. Authorities cannot confirm or deny if a death is involved. Multiple agencies are on scene, like the DOJ, City of Milwaukee, Franklin Police Department, Town of East Troy, and the Walworth County Sheriff's Department. The Barron County Sheriff says this incident is not related to the Jamie Kloss investigation. Neither the Franklin Police Department nor the Walworth County Sheriff's Office plan to release any more information this evening. We will share anything we do learn tonight on channel3000.com. A major update in the Sun Prairie explosion.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration announced 2 companies committed serious violations, which led to that explosion. Our Keely Arthur joins us live, sharing the very latest now from Sun Prairie. Keely?
Well, Sun Prairie is very strong. Other than the boarded up windows behind me, it's hard to tell that the explosion happened exactly 6 months ago today. And the people I spoke to today say they're happy that OSHA finds 2 companies responsible for what happened. However, they're fining those companies just under $13,000. And they say, considering what happened, that's basically nothing. As the owner of Salvatore's Tomato Pies, Patrick DePula knows one misstep can break a business's reputation and bank, which is why he's frustrated over the fines levied against 2 companies involved in the Sun Prairie explosion.
In the food industry, like which I work in, if you had a meat processing plant and got someone sick, your fine would be much greater than causing the death of an individual. The July 10th incident killed Fire Captain Corey Barr, destroyed parts of downtown, and damaged businesses like DePula's. Today, OSHA inspectors announced that Bear Communications and subcontractor VC Tech failed to contact underground utility owners or the digging hotline. Improper drilling into a gas line led to the explosion, and because of that, OSHA slapped both companies with a fine of $12,934.
I'm almost speechless in that regard. I just don't know what to make of it. I suppose OSHA lives within its rules, and maybe that determines the level of fines. I guess that's the case. You would think if there were ever a case where a massive fine was called for, this would be the place, because their errors caused somebody to die. Could there be anything more extreme than that? I don't think so.
The fine is the maximum penalty allowed. A separate criminal investigation found no crime was committed, but Corey Barr's widow and 2 injured firefighters have filed their own suits, something DePula is still considering.
Accidents happen, right? And from a criminal perspective, I think that was addressed, right? I don't think anyone woke up that morning and said, I'm going to go to work today and I'm going to kill someone, and I'm going to cause millions of dollars worth of damages to downtown Sun Prairie. Nobody said that, so I fully believe that that was addressed. But civilly, those companies are definitely responsible.
VC Tech and Bear Communications have 15 days now to either pay the fine, contest the fine, or meet with OSHA. Bear Communications declined to comment. VC Tech was unreachable. Back to you.
Thanks for that update. Keely Arthur reporting live tonight in Sun Prairie.
Governor Evers says he is glad to see Assembly Republicans are having a change of heart. Evers toured a DMV office in Wausau this afternoon. Assembly Republicans delivered a letter to Evers today saying they want to work together on a number of issues like cutting income taxes, increasing funding for public schools, and reducing borrowing to pay for roads. Evers says the Republican lawmakers have many of the same goals as him. He will meet with Republicans in both houses next week. State Representative Jimmy Anderson is filing a lawsuit to void the bills passed during the lame duck session. A crash in 2010 left Anderson paralyzed, and he cannot sit in his chair for more than a day without health problems. He says on the day of the vote, he was on the Assembly floor at the time scheduled by Republican leadership, waiting to vote on the proposed legislation. After waiting for over 8 hours, he says he had to go home and get out of his chair. Well, he woke up the next day to see the legislature began the special session after a 14-hour delay at 4 a.m. with almost no warning.
And I think that there is a significant public interest in ensuring that individuals with disabilities are able to fully participate in the legislative process. I think that the court would find that a much more compelling argument rather than saying, well, maybe this person's vote would or would not change the overall outcome. What's important is that people with disabilities actually have the ability to fully participate in the process.
A coalition of liberal-leaning groups has filed a lawsuit seeking to void laws passed by Wisconsin Republicans that reduced the powers of the newly elected Democratic governor. Conservative attorney Rick Essenberg says the lawsuit faces long odds because courts are unlikely to aggressively interpret the law and inject themselves into the legislative process.
All right, some sunshine out there, calmer winds, not too bad out there, and our temps are trending up. Here's Gary.
Yeah, temperatures are almost exactly average for today, so this is your typical mid-January day, but temperatures will be back above normal beginning tomorrow and lasting through pretty much all of next week. We had a little batch of clouds come through early this morning, and then the skies cleared out. We had plenty of sunshine through the day today. As we check out Doppler track, you can see some light snow in far northern Wisconsin from a weather system that's actually starting to bring the milder air eastward, but that snow will stay up to our north, and without any snow on the ground here, our temperatures will stay mild. Low temperatures this morning here in Madison, we dropped to 12 degrees for our overnight low temperature. To our north and west, temperatures were in the single digits. High temperatures today, right about average. 26 here in Madison is exactly where we should be for this time of year. And current temperatures are down around 20 degrees. Temperatures may fall a couple more degrees this evening and then hold steady or even rise a couple of degrees overnight. That's because while winds are light right now, they're mainly out of the southeast across Minnesota and Iowa. Those southeasterly winds will start to kick in later tonight and keep our temperatures from falling much more from where they are now. Wind chills right now, not a big deal, generally in the teens. But tomorrow morning, temperatures will be back to around 20 or in the low 20s. Skies will be partly cloudy. Look for skies to become increasingly cloudy during the day tomorrow. Our high temperature, though, about 10 degrees milder at 35. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. A second person involved in the shooting of a 5-year-old boy in Beloit pleads guilty to homicide charges. Eric Salazar Mota in Rock County Court today. If convicted, he could face up to 25 years in prison. Sentencing is March 8th. Back in November, another man, Sergio Ortiz Regoza, was sentenced to 40 years in connection to the shooting. 3 of the 6 people arrested in Janesville Monday evening appeared in Rock County Court today, arrested following a crash and domestic disturbance. Our Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us with more. Adam?
Well, Eric, we're slowly starting to figure out just what might have happened Monday night on Janesville's south side. That had 3 people in Rock County Court today. On Monday night around 9:30, police were called to Falling Creek Village in Janesville. There, they found a crash with everyone from one car gone and one person in the other car needing medical attention. About a mile down the road, police found everyone from the empty car plus 2 more in another car. All 6 were arrested. News 3 learned that the people from the original car were most likely leaving from a domestic dispute, which could possibly involve one of them being hit in the face with a hammer. Today, 3 of the 6 people arrested, Tasha Sanger, Samantha Ginter, and Sergio Maciel, appeared in Rock County Court. A criminal complaint showed that the domestic dispute happened when Ginter and Maciel started making fun of Tasha's children. Ginter says Sanger got so mad she hit her in the face with a hammer, knocking out 2 of her teeth, although police are still investigating whether or not that's true. Again, all 6 people in this case still in police custody, including those 2 minors, and the 3 people who appeared in Rock County Court today, all being held on cash bond. And between the 3, a pretty extensive criminal history between them, and you can find all the information on this case online at channel3000.com.
All right, Adam, thank you.
It turns out we are spending more on prescription drugs in the U.S. than people in any other country. Out-of-pocket costs are expected to keep going up, around $70 billion by 2025. But there might be a way to save if you just ask. 2 years ago, Consumer Reports helped uncover something called gag clauses, which prevented pharmacists from telling you there might be a lower drug price by not using your insurance. Since then, federal laws have been passed to prevent that from happening.
You can actually help the consumer a whole lot more. For example, last night, a lady came in for an antibiotic ointment. We filled it, ran it through her insurance. It was $192. Put it through for the cash price, and it was just $15.
There are a few things you can do to get those kinds of savings for yourself. We have those tips for you coming up tonight on News 3 at 10. A teenager's death is affecting those at the Watertown Police Department.
His family talks about his passion to serve his community as they try to come to terms with his death. Join us as we remember Robbie. It's next at 6. The Watertown Police Department is remembering a member of its Police Explorer program.
Jamie Perez spoke with the teen's family about his desire to serve and the mystery surrounding his death.
This is Robbie Miskelin, a 19-year-old boy who many say belonged in that uniform.
He always wanted to be a cop.
That's Tammy Wildish, Robbie's mom.
He wanted to save people. He wanted to go and try to resolve issues. He had a heart of gold.
On January 3rd, Robbie died in his sleep, and no one knows exactly how.
They don't know at this point. There's an autopsy being done. He was a diabetic, so me, myself, and my heart think it was something like that.
Robbie took insulin for his diabetes, a condition he's dealt with since he was 4 years old. His mom says he had never been hospitalized before and never had any other health issues. But when she opened his bedroom door on January 3rd...
I knew that he was gone. I just opened up his door and I knew.
Until the autopsy results come back, the community in Watertown, especially the police department, have made it clear. They lost an important person.
He would have made a good police officer.
Robbie was part of the Police Explorers program for the past 4 years.
It was very hard. I never thought that I'd be burying my son at 19. He was too young. A lot of us said that should have been us because we lived our life. You never want to see your kid die.
Like any parent who loses a child, Tammy's heart rests heavy. She not only has to deal with the death of her oldest son, but her youngest son has cancer.
Tumor's right here.
Michael has a germ cell tumor.
He was diagnosed with cancer on November 19th, and then January 3rd, that's when Robert passed.
Tammy is now working to figure out how to deal with things going forward, both emotionally and financially.
When you get things running through your head, like how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to pay for the funeral expenses?
Right now, they're taking things day by day, focusing now on Robbie and learning how to live without him.
Kind of nervous. Nervous? Why is that?
He was a good brother.
As a mother who lost a child, Tammy says she has to learn to move on and lean on her faith to get her through this.
I know God works in his mysterious ways and calls them home when they need to, but spend the most time with your kids because you never know what's going to happen.
Robbie's burial is tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the Glenview Memorial Gardens, where he will be buried next to his grandmother.
And if you'd like to help Robbie's family during this very difficult time, a link to their GoFundMe page is on our website, channel3000.com. Give another check of your forecast in just a few minutes.
And a little generosity is having a big impact on the animals at Dane County Humane Society. The good being done in our community when News 3 at 6 returns. Here is something good happening at Dane County Humane Society.
The shelter received all of the items people donated through the drive held by Mounds. DCHS helps about 9,000 animals each and every year, from cats to dogs to guinea pigs and even snakes. Employees say they are very thankful for the items delivered today and say if you missed out on this donation drive, there are other ways to help throughout the year.
Monetary donations allow us to use money to buy exactly what we need at that time. So whether we have that surprise pig that comes through our doors, we can buy the items we need for those animals. Also, we have a wish list on our website as well of items that we're always in need of.
And the donations keep the shelter from dipping into its reserve budget so it can use the money for any other surprises that might pop up. If you want to make a donation to the Humane Society, just visit their website, which is giveshelter.org.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi joins us with a look at our forecast. Hi, Gary.
Well, hi. Our mild weather continues on. Dave Caulfield was doing some investigating. We talked about this yesterday. We're now up to 330 days since the last time our temperatures dipped into the single digits above zero. That goes back to February 13th of last year. Not only that, but so far we haven't gotten as cold as 9 degrees or colder through this entire winter so far. So the latest time in winter we've had our first temperature of below 10 degrees was on the 11th of January back in 1914. If we go through tonight without that temperature dropping below 9 degrees or 9 degrees or below before midnight, it looks like we will have another record here, and that will continue on because it looks like it could be a week to 10 days at least before temperatures get that cold. Low temperatures last night were in the single digits up in northern Wisconsin, where there's still a little snow on the ground, but southern parts of the state, very little snow cover. Temperatures consequently are in the teens, and you can see just how sparse the snow cover is. Several inches up to almost a foot up near the western end of the UP of Michigan. A lot of that was lake effect snow, but pretty much from about Rhinelander to Cumberland and north of there, that's where all the snow is on the ground, and that's only a few inches. South of there, very little snow across the state. And a little more snow occurring up there tonight. There are the haves and the have-nots. They're the haves, we're the have-nots, and it looks like we're not going to see much in the way of snow here. That's because temperatures will be above normal. Average high temperature, 26 degrees. Next 7 days, looking for those temperatures to stay in the mid to upper 30s, a little colder toward the end of next week. There are some signs that the pattern will change a bit. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center calling for below normal temperatures through Wisconsin and areas to the north, and above normal precipitation, especially to our south. The time lapse from the WISC Skycam shows bright sunshine for much of the day, other than a few cirrus clouds passing by in the afternoon. Otherwise, it was a gorgeous day, even through sunset. And as we look at the live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, it's very quiet out there right now. The winds have lightened up. Our high temperature today, 26 degrees, right where we should be. Low temperature of 12, 1 degree above normal. And right now, we've dropped to 20 degrees with mostly clear skies. Wind chill is at 13. So our forecast for tonight calls for a low of 18, a couple degrees colder than we are now, but then those temperatures will hold steady overnight or even rise a couple of degrees. And then for tomorrow, look for variably cloudy skies, not as cold, high temperatures back in the middle 30s. That's almost 10 degrees above average. Future track shows light winds overnight, then they become southerly, and that brings temperatures up into the lower 20s by morning. High temperatures tomorrow, mid 30s with a mix of clouds and sun. More clouds tomorrow night, maybe a couple of flurries of snow. Low temperatures in the upper 20s. Saturday, clouds, maybe a little bit of light snow or flurries, mainly to the south of Madison. High temperatures will be in the lower to middle 30s. Look at the latest computer model forecast. That even takes the accumulating snow farther south than the Chicago area. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures remain in the 30s through all of next week. Look for chances for some light snow perhaps Friday and Saturday. That'll be the next chance for any accumulating snow, then a little colder after that for Sunday of the following weekend.
Stoughton tries to grab first place in the Badger South Conference in tonight's game of the week, and the Packers now hiring. Details coming up. Sports is next. A little Badger Conference action at tonight's Prep Mania game of the week. The Stoughton Vikings hit the road to face Monona Grove, and the Silver Eagles will try to avoid a second straight home loss. Jay Wilson has the call tonight alongside John Boyle. They join us live from Monona Grove High School with a preview. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi, Kevin, and good evening, everyone. Well, last Friday night, our game of the week was a classic as Madison East held off Madison La Follette, and the way these two teams play, great rivals. We expect more of the same tonight as Stoughton visits Monona Grove. And as Kevin mentioned, John Boyle's back with us. The halfway point of the conference season. These two guys usually contend for the conference title, so that makes this a big game, I guess.
Well, they've got history, and this is a big game because the team that wins this game is going to remain in the thick of the conference chase. The team that loses it is going to be a little bit behind the 8 ball. And, we're getting to the middle of the season, and we're going to find out who's got it and who doesn't, and this game's going to tell us a lot, I think.
Yeah, well, one thing Monona Grove does have is a guy named Caden Nelson who's averaging 23.5 points a game. He's pretty good.
He's one of the better players in the area. He's a guard that can score outside and inside, and if Stoughton's going to have a chance tonight, they're going to have to deal with Caden.
Yeah, and Monona Grove's standpoint, Stoughton's got a big guy, Jack Nelson, who's going to be a UW football recruit, and Monona Grove has had trouble defending big guys so far this year. A couple of them scored 30, so we'll see how that all plays out tonight. Channel3000.com, 7:15, we tip with Stoughton at Monona Grove. Hope to see you then. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Well, it's not an all-you-can-eat diet, more of a most-of-what-you-can-eat diet for Wisconsin sophomore Nate Reavers. He came to campus at a lanky 6'11", 215 pounds. He's put on 25 this offseason, and his play has improved dramatically. Shooting percentage, three-point percentage, both higher. He's become more physical. Sometimes finding weight can be just as effective as losing it.
I mean, I felt a lot better in the last couple of games, especially playing with a lot of confidence. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun out there right now. Maybe I'm just slowly putting it all together, but just having fun.
I think it's shown in those last few Big Ten games. It's shown where he's averaging 12 points and he's actually getting more rebounds now. And I think that's just helped his confidence, and I think that's just another threat that we have on offense.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur wasting no time making personnel moves with regard to his staff, firing special teams coach Ron Zook. Zook, hired as an assistant special teams coach in 2014, promoted in 2015, but never really pulled things together. Plagued by penalties and mental mistakes, Green Bay was inconsistent all season and ranked 28th overall in special teams. The Brewers doing a little post-holiday shopping, signing catcher Yasmani Grandal to a one-year, $18.25 million contract. He normally sure-handed Grandal got benched against the Brewers in the postseason because he wasn't sure-handed. 30-year-old switch hitter has 20 or more home runs 3 straight seasons. Spring training and warm weather right around the corner.
A lot of people are like, what?
Yeah.
They maybe only saw the postseason.
It's bad, so yeah, we'll see.
All right, Kevin, thanks. Final check?
Not spring training weather, but temperatures above normal through the rest of next week.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks for joining us.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.